All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're doing lesson 7.5, scale drawings. Now, scale drawing is basically a drawing done to scale. That means it's an exact copy, but it's 1/2 the size or 1/4 of the size. And really, when we say things like 1/2, 1/4, we're talking ratios. And we do scale all the time. We use it when we use blueprints, we use it in engineering, we use it in maps. It's an incredibly useful tool because if everything was made exact same size to exact size, for one thing, drawings and blueprints and stuff would be really, really, really big. So let's do some scale problems first. The first one is a drawing shows a 3 centimeter picture of a goat. There she be. The real goat is 90 centimeters tall. What is the scale of the goat? So we set this up as a ratio problem. We have the real goat and we have the scale. Okay, now the real goat and the scale goat. Now, the drawing height is how big? Well, actually, we should probably put the scale above it because it'll be smaller. So let's organize this, just make our lives a little easier. So we have the scale and we have the real. Okay, now the scale of the actual size of our drawing here is 3 centimeters. So it's 3 centimeters tall, and the goat is actually 90 centimeters. Now, all when we're doing scale is instead of doing 3 to 90, we want to figure a 1 to something. Usually it's 1 centimeter or 1 inch to how many feet or how many miles. So to solve that problem, we're going to make the scale side of this a 1. So to get from 3 to 1, I have to divide by 3, and I have to divide 90 by 3 as well, and I end up getting 30. So this is a 1/30th scale drawing of the goat. So I could write this as a 1 to 30, okay, and that's not a time sign, that's just a ratio sign, scale, okay? So a 1 to 30 scale drawing. Or I could write that as 1 centimeter to 30 centimeter. That is another way I could write this. Okay? They're both equally correct. This one just seems to explain a little bit more. Okay, we've got that out of the way. Oh, wrong button. Let's do another one. My next one. Oh, did this clog up on me? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Our next one is a map shows a scale of 1 centimeter equals 20 miles. If two towns on the map are 6 centimeters apart, how far are they in real life? So, scale on top, real life on the bottom. Our scale that they give us is a 1 to 20, okay? And we are 6 miles apart on the map, or I'm sorry, 6 centimeters apart on the map. So we want to know how many real miles are we? If I go from 1 to 6, I have to do times 6. So if I do 20 times 6, I should end up with 120. And so my answer is 120 miles. Very simple. Okay. Let's do a couple more. Well, actually, just one more, and then we'll do our project. This is actually a pretty simple concept. You see a scale of 1 inch. You want to use a scale of 1 inch to 10 feet to build a model of the White House. The real White House is 58 feet tall. How tall should your model be? Okay, so we have our scale. And just to make my reading a little bit easier, I'm going to put down inches. Always pays to label. Okay. Then I have in real life feet. and my scale. I'm using a 1 inch to 10 feet. Now the real White House is 58 feet tall. So to get from 10 to 58, what do I have to multiply by? Well, if you use a calculator, you'll figure out it is 5.8. 5.8 above, 5.8 below, 1 times 5.8, I get 5.8 inches as my answer. Okay, it's basically the same proportion problem, except with scale, they tend to be a 1 to something scale. Tend to be. Not always, but they tend to be. All right, now, here are your problems. Solve the following problems, and please show your work. Our first one is the height of a dog in a drawing is 4 centimeters. The actual height of the dog is 80 centimeters. What is the scale of the drawing? So it's going to be a 1 to something scale. The scale on a map shows 1 centimeter equals 50 kilometers. Find the following real distances. This is incredibly easy if you know what you're doing. If you are making a model of a 14-foot truck and you want to use a scale of 1 inch to 8 feet, you need to find the size of that model. Oh, not the side of that model, the size. I'm such a poor typist. Okay. Use a scale of 1 inch to 8 feet to find the size of your model. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and